there is one thing about the gaming industry that bothers me the most, it's probably the fact that sometimes gaming industries like to copy each other, and we come out with games that are major successes, and other competitor gaming companies, they want to make games that are just as successful as like Nintendo or Sega or Capcom. So they basically create the same game, and I'm fine if a game is like exactly the same almost, but it has its major twist to it. An example I can think of would probably be Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Yeah, it had the same like game style to it, but it had the major twist to it. It had like different songs through the game. It had the parallel world of Termina, and it had the whole mask thing. So even though I hate that game, like, I've only beaten it once, I've tried multiple times to play it. I always get frustrated with it, especially by the time I get to the Woodfall Temple. But before then, I do enjoy the game. But yeah, I can accept it on being its own kind of game because it has its own style. However, when it comes with the PlayStation, the one game I cannot forgive for being an exact copy of is Horizon Zero Dawn. I barely played that game, honestly. I don't think I got very far on it. I think I put like maybe an hour and a half into gameplay, just because it felt exactly like Breath of the Wild. You know what I mean? You're playing as this warrior Aloy, she's fighting all these enemies. It's an open world exploration game. She can be able to, like, I don't know, explore the world, swim, hunt, do whatever she wants. But at the same time, there's robots that she has to defeat. It feels so much like Breath of the Wild. How Link, he explores Hyrule, how he can board for food, he can hunt, and then there's the Guardians and Mini Guardians. It's just not a fun game in my opinion. That's why I really gave up on Horizon Zero Dawn. Too much like Breath of the Wild in my opinion. I'm talking about copycat games because I recently played a video game that I thought was going to be an exact copy of Mario Party, just an anime style of the game, but this game has enough features on its own to make it a completely standalone game. I thought I was gonna hate it right from the start, but honestly, once I started playing it, I would put it down to go do stuff throughout the day, to run errands or whatever, but I always found myself coming back to play it because I actually really enjoyed it. And the game I am talking about is Demon Slayer Sweep the Board. The gameplay itself does feel very much like a Mario Party game. I mean, you start out with choosing the character that you want to play as, but what's cool is that you have an option to choose from like 10 other characters who you want the CPUs to be, and these options can be like from either like, if you choose Tanjiro, you can choose Zenitsu, or Inosuke, or Genya, or any of the other Hashira that you want to play as, which is cool that those characters are options. And of course, you start out the game with 10 coins, and then you roll the die, and you move around the board just like any other party-like video game that you would play. What I love about it is that during the gameplay, you land on these certain spaces, and yeah, like Mario Party, there's like stores that you can visit, you can get items that'll like increase your roll or help you move forward through the board faster. And also, there are parts where these characters will like be added as their allies. Like how Mario Party, you have to get through a certain point in the game where these other characters will be just randomly added as an option. Like if you get to their destination, you can have them as an ally. With this, once you reach a certain space, you're like chosen. You spin this wheel, it's giving you the choice of who your ally's going to be. I thought that part was pretty cool. What I like is that each of the boards, like there's a crow at the beginning of the game, has the destination that you're trying to get to. Once you get to these certain destinations, the time of day will actually change. Like it'll go from night to day. And what's cool is that with the anime Demon Slayer, if you've ever seen the anime Demon Slayer, that's when the Hashira and other Demon Slayers, that's when they do their work. That's when they go out to slay the demons. So you got these demons, like depending on what board you choose, you can go up against Rui, you can go up against Daki, you can go up against Akaza. It all depends on what space of the board you land on. I think it was a really fun twist. Plus Nezuko, Tanjiro's little sister, she's really cool. She's like that half demon, half human through like almost the whole anime. Like she'll come help the player that's in last place when the game changes from night to day. It's really cool how the game emphasizes the use of allies through gameplay as you progress through the board. I loved it. I loved how the turn base worked in this. Like before you start the game, similar to Mario Party, how you can choose how many turns you want to go through, and like 10 was the least amount you can do. So like in Mario Party, a whole playthrough of a board would be like maybe an hour and a half to get through. With Demon Slayer Sweep the Board, there's even an option for 5 turns, and that only takes like 20 minutes. So if you want to play Demon Slayer Sweep the Board and you only have like half an hour to spare, you can easily only choose the 5 turn and you can complete the board. But at the same time, that sucks because a lot of the items in the game can only be used like in your next 2 turns. You can use this item and it could be like turn number 3, so you don't exactly have time to use the item you were given. But at the same time, I like that the game actually understands that you may not have a whole lot of time to play through a whole game. I thought that was pretty cool on Sega's part. The boards were okay, like there's 6 boards in total, which is really cool, but the way they move isn't really fun, in my opinion. Like, it's similar how Mario Party All-Stars, or not All-Stars, just Super Mario Party had it, how the game boards were just squares that the characters would go square to square around. And that's similar to this, how Bowser would change some of the squares into like red squares. The same thing could happen in this game. But yeah, some of the boards are really interesting. Like, I would probably say the Entertainment District probably is the most boring board. I mean, all you do is just basically move in a square. Sometimes the characters can move around jumping on rooftops, which is pretty cool. But yes, the boards aren't really interesting. I loved fighting the demons in this game. Like, it actually made me feel like a demon slayer. Like, once you landed on a demon square, sometimes it would be a regular demon that you would have to face, and you would have to take one of the Joy-Cons out of the controller, and you could hold it like an actual sword, and like, similar to the Wii, the motion controls on the Switch aren't the best, but it was actually cool because you would have to make your timing exact with the demon slashes or whatever. Like with the drum demon, you would have to meet his beats. Once certain things aligned, you would have to like swing a certain direction to be able to get points for that battle. It was super cool. Plus the boss demons, like, they would go in levels. Like, you would beat them up to this one phase, and then they would get another health bar. So it was like phase 2 with a whole new way to use the Joy-Con as a sword. I loved it. Plus there's like cutscenes at the end how these demon slayers would act to kill the demons, like similar how they did in the anime. It was really cool. It was really cool how Sega incorporated the anime with the gameplay in this. I thought it was really dope. The mini games in this, they're interesting. Like, they're not called mini games specifically, they're called skill training, because it's like Demon Slayer has to have a different name than mini games. But some of the games are interesting, like I want to do it again, and others are really fun. Some of them I didn't like. There's basically a Squid Game like one where you just have to trace the shape of an object, and then at the end of the timer you get points for how well you did. And there's others where they're just really fun. Like, there's this snowball fight one that's really fun. There's this one where you're going against the computer sledding down a mountain. I love the winter ones, those are really fun. There's one that's frustrating but a really cool concept where you're going against these computers, and like in the first season when the drum demon he would be and like the mansion would change around, you basically had to run to avoid his attacks through the mansion. That was really cool. Also, there's mini games where there's like playing badminton. I love the badminton one. That one was probably the mini game I played the most. Also, there's one where you're just trying to like whack each other with these sticks, trying to knock each other out of the ring. That's really awesome. There's like this slingshot game where you're trying to shoot all these demons. There's this whack-a-mole demon game. It's pretty fun. There's also some mini games where you're like these two mice in this attic. Like, you know in season 2 when Inosuke, he jumps through the roof and it's just his head poking out and he tells the mice to bring him his sword? You get to play as the mice against the computer, and you're working with your partner as these two little mice carrying the sword as you're going through the attic, avoiding all these obstacles through the attic until you get to the hole where Inosuke is. I thought that was fun. Also, there's one where you're mice just shooting off fireworks. That was pretty cool. For the most part, the mini games in this were really enjoyable. Some were pretty stupid, like there's a dancing bird one. But others have amazing graphics. Like, the graphics in this game aren't too amazing, but like there's this one mini game that's basically just fishing, and it literally looks like you're looking into a pond trying to catch fish. It looks really, really good how the graphics are with that mini game. I was impressed. And there's also a jump rope game which was pretty stupid. But for the most part, the mini games are actually really enjoyable. So for the most part, would I recommend getting Demon Slayer Sweep the Board? I myself was really cautious about getting it because it only came out like April 2024, and when I looked it up for the reviews, some people said it was good. On YouTube, other people were saying like it's terrible, it's a waste of money. But I love Demon Slayer, so I had to get it to give it a try, and I do not regret getting it. It's such an addictive game. If you love the anime Demon Slayer and you love Mario Party, it's like these two had a baby. So I can guarantee that you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, because you'll feel like it's an exact copy of Mario Party, just anime. But either way, I would say give it a try. Anyway guys, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.